All right, just to give an update. So let me start from the beginning. Let me give a recap. Okay. Uh, I did a video the other day showing partial footage of an open records request that I did with the Ferris, Texas Police Department. Okay. I had an encounter with a person who I thought was a law enforcement officer. Come to find out, this dude is a city manager, a first responder, and city manager, first responder, and a chaplain. I don't even know how that's even possible, but I was parked, not on private property. I was parked in my vehicle, and this individual approached me with emergency lights on, totally blocked my vehicle off with his vehicle, and he had emergency lights on. Like I was laid back in my truck. Okay. So all I saw was the illumination of emergency lights. So automatically, when you see the illumination of emergency lights, you obviously, you know, you're on alert and you realize, oh, wow, I'm about to have an encounter with law enforcement. So this guy walks over to the side of my vehicle in the driver's side, and I say, hey, what's up, officer? And then he proceeds to question me as to what I was doing, what I had going on. And I basically just told him that I was chilling. I even addressed this individual as officer, and he never corrected me. Okay. I really don't think this dude had the authority to just randomly pull up to me and start questioning me as to what I was doing. Even if he is a first responder, I never made a call for any kind of help. I was simply a vehicle that was just parked. Okay. Minding my own business. Now, after that incident occurred, after this individual left, I would say within minutes, the actual Ferris Police Department showed up. Okay. The Ferris Police Department, City of Ferris Police Department, they show up shortly after he left. So I'm trying to find out, okay, why am I having an encounter with law enforcement now? What's going on? Because I thought I just had an encounter with law enforcement because again, that dude had emergency lights on. So I told the Ferris Police Department officer that showed up, his name is Officer Shook. I said, man, what are y'all doing here? I just had an encounter with an officer. And then Officer Shook tells me, he was like, really? I was like, yeah, I have video footage of it. So he was interested in seeing my video footage and all that, and I showed it to him. That's how I found out the dude was actually a city manager, and he did not have the authority to approach me in the manner that he did because he did not get a call. Now, when I filed an open records request for the body cam footages, and I also filed a complaint, and I also wanted a report as to find out what exactly his intentions were. It said in the report that he was on his way home from City Hall and he just so happened to see me en route of him going home. Okay. What I would really like to know is to find out where exactly Mr. Brooks Williams lives in relation to where I was parked that particular evening. Because I have a feeling that the route that he takes to go home was not that route. He was engaged and involved in organized stalking and harassment. He got an alert that I was in town and decided to pay me a visit to enact his shenanigans. That's all it was. Okay? I can almost guarantee that his home was nowhere en route to in relation to where I was parked that evening. Okay? And this is even more revealing. I was having problems getting the body cam footages of the second officer because there were two officers that responded after Brooks Williams, the city manager, left my presence. Okay. Officer Shook was the first on the scene. Moments later, Officer Banks showed up. Okay. I got Officer Shook's body cam footage in its entirety, but for some reason, Officer Banks' body cam footage was not available. So I inquired about this with the chief of police of the city of Ferris, okay, their police department. I asked him, I said, how come, there's no body cam footage for Officer Banks? The chief of police in Ferris, Texas told me that not only did Officer Banks not have a body cam on, that his actual body cam was broken. Okay. I have footage showing from the other officer's body cam showing that this dude had on a body cam. Not only did he have on a body cam, you see, I'm familiar with body cams because I also have a body cam. The body cam that I use is the same body cam that a lot of police departments use. So I'm familiar with how they operate and all that. Officer Banks, in the footage that I have, is clearly seen tapping and touching his body cam so as to activate it in the same manner that I would activate my body cam. So there was definitely a body cam that was working, because if it wasn't working, why would he tap? You can see that on the video. He has his hand up to the body cam tapping it so as to activate it. So obviously there's content. Okay. So I made that very clear that I have footage of Officer Banks, and they knew this without me having said that. Okay. They were just trying to give me a hard time. So after I said that, miraculously, Terry Childers, who is the records clerk for this Ferris Police Department, she miraculously is able to retrieve body cam footage from Officer Banks. But the thing that I find very suspect is that Officer Banks' body cam footage is only a little bit over 2 minutes long. Okay, the encounter that I had with the Ferris Police Department after Brooks Williams left my site, the city manager, was well over 2 minutes. Okay, so there should have been more footage of that. It would have been more revealing because Officer Banks, he inquired about the footage I had of Brooks Williams impersonating a police officer, and he went on to say that, what did he say? He said that his sergeant would be interested in seeing that footage. So Officer Banks walked up to me and asked if he could get a copy of the video footage that I have, and I told him yes, he could. So he proceeded to record with his personal cell phone the footage I had of the city manager impersonating a police officer. Okay, so they redacted all of that off of the body cam footage of Officer Banks. Okay, so that's pretty much what happened. So the next thing that I wanted to also get was the 911 call that was made initially that caused the encounter for the police department. I was told by those police officers, and I believe the police chief as well, that the city manager was the one who made the call to 911 initially. Okay. So I thought I was going to get that included with my initial open records request because I did mention that I wanted the audio 911 call made by the complainant to the police department. Okay. I was told by Miss Terry Childress, who again is the records clerk for the City of Ferris Police Department. I was told that there was no record, and this is the email right here. Just one second. Let me scroll back up so I can get full scope of this. Just one second. I hate Gmail. I swear, like, well, not this is not Gmail, but it's like these emails are not in order that they need to be. Just give me one moment. Please bear with me. Okay, so here it is. So on December 17th, 2020, approximately 10:49 a.m., I sent an email to Miss Terry Childers, and I said, "Hi Terry, I would like to submit an open records request for the radio chatter communication between the city manager Brooks Williams and the Ferris Police Department." Okay, and let's see. Then I was told, because I think I have a phone conversation with her or something like that, because I think I called her and I asked her about the radio chatter or the 911 call, and I think she was saying that that they didn't have it or something like that. So I wanted to put everything in email so it could be documented. So I sent her another email. I said, "Hi Terry. So there's no way to get radio chatter or call made to dispatch in reference to the police encounter I had with the Ferris Police Department. I got the 2 minute body cam footage of Officer Banks and radio chatter between dispatch and Officer Shook, but I did not get the audio of the initial call to dispatch, which is what I'm needing." Okay. And then this is what Ms. Childers said to me. She says, "Sir, I checked all the recorded radio communications in the hour prior to your incident, and found no contact via radio between the police department and the city manager. Let me read that again. I checked all the recorded radio communications in the hour prior to your incident and found no contact via radio between the police department and the city manager reporting your incident. The only radio communication that exists are the ones I released to you. So the only radio communications I got was the chatter between dispatch and the police officer. So you have a complainant that will call in, right, to dispatch, and then dispatch will then delegate um, the call to whatever officer is in the area. Okay. So that's all I got. What I needed was the call from the complainant to dispatch, which is what's missing. Okay. And then it goes on to say in the email, I also checked all the phone calls in the 2 hour period surrounding that time, and there appears to be a problem with the recordings. How convenient. So all of a sudden there's a problem with the phone calls within that 2 hour period. How convenient is that? Okay. So this shows proof of me being systematically stalked and harassed, and them redacting and hiding information that would be able to prove that law enforcement is absolutely involved in our persecution and harassment. The email goes on to say, I found no recorded phone calls from the city manager or anyone else regarding this incident. Okay? So there you have it. There you have it. You know, these people are involved in our targeting. I don't care what anybody says. It's the police that is doing this shit. Straight up and down, it is them. And they're doing any and everything they can to obscure and to try to hide it. Okay? I am still awaiting open records requests from several other police departments concerning this same type of matter, to where I have people that are calling the cops on me for no reason, calling the cops on me, trying to get law enforcement to have these encounters with me. Okay? I've submitted an open records request for the audio chatter from the complainant to dispatch for Richardson Police Department as well as Plano Police Department. Do you know what they did? They referred my request to the Attorney General. So what does that possibly tell you? There's no active investigation for anything because I did not commit no crimes in any of these encounters. You know, usually they might try to hold off on it and refer it to the Attorney General if there's some type of crime that's under investigation or something like that. But in this case, you guys see the videos that I post where I'm posted up in church parking lots, minding my own business, not bothering nobody. The church ain't called. Nobody from the church has told me to leave. But you have these officers that show up and try to get me to move on because they want these perps to have easier access to me. See, it's harder for them to get access to me while I'm on church grounds. They got to keep me on the street. They got to keep me in places to where their perps can publicly harass me. So when I tell you people that there's a method to my madness as to why I park in these churches, it's for a reason. It's so that I can bait them in and record what's going on. I'm a whole lot smarter than what I let off. Trust me. I know exactly what I'm doing. Okay? And the digger you deep, the more truth you find out. All right? So I'm still waiting on Plano, and I'm still waiting on the Richardson Police Department, since they've referred everything to the Attorney General. And that takes up to 45 days for them to decide whether or not they want to release that information to me, because apparently there's some kind of law that protects people that call in for potential crimes. Will call in and reporting crimes that have happened. Okay, so there's some type of protection that these people have. So I would be very interested in finding out if they're actually going to keep me from getting that information. Because what's happening is I have people that are going around being false accusers. They're calling in things about me that I'm doing that's not true. And then you have these law enforcement officers that are coming out, you know, harassing me and trying to get me to move along and stuff like that. So if this isn't the most incriminating evidence that I've posted on YouTube as of yet, I don't know what is. Okay? So your local law enforcement are very well in on the targeting and what's happening to targeted individuals. When Public Enemy did that song with Flavor Flav talking about 911 is a joke in your town, 911 is a joke in your town. These people are out there systematically harassing individuals to the point to where they end up committing crimes so they can point the finger and say, see, we told you he was a menace to society. We told you he was hostile. We told you he was crazy. Order out of chaos. They create the chaos, then they come on the scene and act like they're the saviors. Your real criminals are police officers. Those are your real criminals. And the ones that don't indulge in the activity but know what's happening and they don't say a word, they will also take part in the eternal suffering in the end because you stood by and watched innocent people suffer, become homeless, lose their family, lose their relationship, lose their friends because you chose to keep your mouth shut because you were scared, because you were a coward. Fuck you. Fuck all of you. They are doing this to the best of people in society, and you have people that don't even care that this is happening to people like us. I am not a criminal. I am trying to survive this thing as best as I can. People may look at my life and think I'm crazy, I'm some kind of bum. Until you walk in a person's shoes, don't ever judge a person. Your real criminals are these fucking cops. Those are your real criminals. Okay? Clear cut evidence. This is email from City Affairs. This is official shit. This is nothing that I'm making up. I'm not making none of this stuff up. This is email communication between myself and the records clerk for the City Affairs. All of a sudden, they had problems with their system and they weren't able to retrieve any you know any audio or 911 call or radio chatter. How convenient is that? That's why it's important for you to investigate what's happening with you and continue to look into it. You have to continue to look into this stuff because they're going to try to make you seem like you're crazy. Okay? Let me go back to it again. Just 1 second. All right, so here's some more. I'm going to read it again. Sir, I understand your frustration, but as I said in my last email, I think there may have been a problem with our phone line recording system. I wish I could give you a better answer, but I have diligently searched 2 separate times for both audio transmissions and phone recordings, and I have no other recordings pertaining to this incident. So Casper the Friendly Ghost, I guess, made the call because they have no record or evidence of a call ever being made to law enforcement. So I guess it was Casper the Friendly Ghost, right? All right. And then I even sent an email, and I'm always so very respectful to these people. As I have clearly illustrated in all my videos, I'm always very respectful. I assert my rights, yes, but I still exude a level of respect in dealing with these people. Okay? Because they are out there to character assassinate. So that's why it's very important and smart of the targeted individual to maintain a level of discipline and respect when dealing with these people. Because when the Most High comes down to destroy them, these are things that are going to be brought up that'll make it more easier for the Most High to destroy these people. Not even easier because he already knows what he's going to do. He's set in his action. You went against my child that was respectful to you, even though you was doing evil to him and he was still nice to you. Man, can you imagine? This was my response to these pieces of shit. Respectfully, Terry, then why did police tell me that they got a call to my location and that the call came from Brooks Williams, but you are saying there is no record of communications to dispatch via radio or by phone? Then, what was her response? 1 second. These emails are jumbled. 1 second. There was one where she says, "I understand your frustration." That's the one I'm trying to get to. These emails are out of order. Here it is. Sir, I understand your frustration, but as I said in my last email, I think there may have been a problem with our phone line recording system. I wish I could give you a better answer, but I have diligently searched 2 separate times for both radio transmissions and phone recordings, and I have no other recordings pertaining to the incident. Respectfully, Terry C. Okay? These people are straight criminals. They all look out for each other. At the end of the day, they're all on the same team. They're not out here doing good. They're covering their asses when they're out here doing foul shit to innocent citizens. Okay? You still don't believe about this gang stalking shit that's going on? Hold on one second. Let me show you something else. So I'm here on my laptop searching for jobs, right? Just give me 1 second. Let me get my laptop going. How many minutes am I in? 20 minutes? 1 second. Give me 1 second. I'm trying to get it to where the camera will go. Dang, how can I do this? All right. Is it this one? Okay, camera on, and then I gotta flip it. All right, give me 1 moment. I'm gonna show y'all real quick. I was looking for jobs, and then I came across this. Give me 1 moment, and I gotta end this pretty quickly because I don't want to be rude. I have to go greet someone in a second. I hate when it does this crap. Okay. You see that? Crime information specialist. I hope my camera's picking that up. It seems kind of blurry on my end. But this is the kind of shit they got going on. I wonder what that's about. Crime information specialist. Let's click on that real quick and see. Doesn't that sound like perps? It's a full-time job. It pays $18.24 an hour. At the city of Plano, our values makes us who we are and guide us as we serve our city. As members of our Team Plano, our organizational values, what is most important to us, make up the acronym SERVE: Stewardship, Engage, Respectful, Visionary, Excellence. I'm pretty sure this is like very similar to the contract tracing, what these people do to track individuals that don't wear the mask. It all ties into gang stalking, basically going out and harassing innocent people to try to conform to their slave system is all it is. Okay. It's so blatant now. They're putting out ads. They're so bold now. They're putting out ads for jobs for gang stalkers now. Crime information specialist. I hope this camera's picking it up. I hope it's clear. Okay. I just wanted to show that to y'all real quick. I'm going to end this video. Do not trust your police departments. They are all in on it. Okay. I've known this for the longest time. I kept turning my cheek. I kept trying to give benefit of the doubt. But over time, I started to learn that these people definitely have a hand in what's happening to us. And these people are going to suffer eternally. I don't even wish death because death would be too easy. I want them to suffer for the rest of their lives what they've done to so many people. Rightfully so. All praises and glory be unto the Most High. I got to get off this thing. Leave some comments. Let me know what y'all think. I'll talk to y'all later.